And good evening, everyone. I'm Jonathan Higgins of Train Aficionado, and we are live this evening, live out in the field. As many of you can see, we're at milepost 15. We are in Glendale, Ohio. Let's widen out this shot here and take a look at the tracks as we are live out in the field. It's a beautiful night tonight in Ohio. Little chilly. It's upper 50s, I believe. It's starting to dip down to the lower 50s tonight. It's about 55 degrees right now. So this is the first time really doing a live shot like this for Train Aficionado. So welcome everybody that's watching tonight. So we are live in Glendale, Ohio. The camera's looking northbound. And unfortunately right now the signals that are actually right ahead of me are showing red on both track 1 and track 2. So hopefully we'll get some action soon. But welcome to the broadcast. We're going to be doing a lot of this during the spring and summer. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're a first-time viewer, first time watching the show. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow our social media as well: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. We're at Train Aficionado. As you can tell, it's springtime. We can hear some lawnmowers in the background. But yeah, definitely this is going to be a good night. I'll show you the signal bridge. Let me zoom into that, and you can actually take a look at the signals ahead. So you can see here that they're all red right now. So hopefully we'll get a green soon. We'll kind of focus on that for a few minutes. So we've got some people, of course, checking in as always. Chris Schultz, first checked in this morning. Not this morning, but this afternoon. Let's Go Rail Fanning, Lincoln, Robert, just to name a few. So you guys are going to be able to enjoy some trackside rail fanning with me, hopefully this evening. Everything seems to be going well equipment-wise, so we may be doing a live broadcast on Saturday morning. I'm not too sure what time. I have an event with the Cincinnati Railroad Club. Basically, for the last several months, I've been teaching a class. So we're actually taking the class on the road, and we're going to be rail fanning in Hamilton, Ohio. Oh yeah, Lost Depot will be joining us on today, I believe, as well. And Les, good evening. Thank you for joining us. And Charles, Robert, just to name a few. It's a little different being outside of the studio. We're doing stuff a little bit differently. I actually have a laptop that I'm not right in front of, so if I don't see your question right away, just bear with me. Let's take a look at the lay of the land here. We're going to zoom out just a bit. And this is an awesome place to go rail fanning. And you can see the depot there, which is not the original depot. So we can tell you a little bit more history about that as well. What trains use this line? Great question, Jim. Basically, it's a Norfolk Southern and CSX. So basically, Norfolk Southern is a guest on this line, and then CSX owns the line. And basically, this is a northbound route for both of them, coming out of the Queensgate Yard, which is located in downtown Cincinnati, just behind the historic Cincinnati Union Terminal. So all the northbounds come through here, and also the CSX southbounds come through here as well. The traffic does split, so basically Norfolk Southern, when it comes back south, it's basically splitting off at a junction which is in Hamilton, Ohio. And it looks like we've got a green signal, so hopefully we'll be seeing something shortly. Where are we meeting Saturday morning? Right in downtown Hamilton, Ohio. So we will be right by the parking lots, not too far away from the McDonald's. We'll actually post a link to the event page in the chat. We'll be able to do that as well. I do have the scanner with me. It's relatively quiet right now, but hopefully we'll get some action. Where's that sheet of paper? There we go. Thank you. This is crazy doing a show live from Trackside. So if you're not familiar with Glendale, Ohio, basically it's a village just north of Cincinnati, northeast, I should say, of Cincinnati. And it's only 1.69 square miles, so it's a small village. And basically it encompasses a total of 392 acres. So it's a relatively small community just north of Cincinnati. Let's take a look at that green signal. Looks like it's going to be coming on the track that's closest to us. Let me just put down the phone. We'll move the camera and we'll take a look at the signal. There we go. So we got a nice green signal. That's going to be on the track that's closest to us. And that'll be a train heading northbound. It's hard to tell whether it'll be a Norfolk Southern or a CSX. What we can do is we can actually hear the train coming, because there is a couple of crossings where they can actually blow the horn. Once they reach Hamilton, not Hamilton, but Glendale, this crossing that we're looking at right here, I'm going to pan out just a little bit, is a quiet crossing. It's fully gated on both sides. So this will be a quiet crossing, so we won't hear the train horn approaching this crossing, but we will hear it approaching crossings that are behind us to the south. I'm going to pan around and we can actually take a look at what we'll be looking at once the train comes north. This is one of the first places I actually rail fanned in Cincinnati, in the Ohio area, when I moved up here. So there's actually a detector that's just south of here, in between here and Wyoming. So, so you're able to hear the detector on the scanner. There is a detector that's north of here, but it's a bit of a distance away. It's in the northern section of Hamilton, so it's north of the downtown. So it's a little hard to hear on the scanner, but we can hear this detector just south of us. It's right in Wyoming. It's milepost 13 point something. We're right at milepost 15. So hopefully we'll be able to see some trains. I know there's at least one coming. Who knows how far out it is. I haven't heard the horn as of yet. But yeah, we'll be looking this way when the train comes through, and we will certainly pan the shot and everything. Let me look at some of your comments. Yes, this is a regular rail fanning spot. Casey's asking about this. Yeah, so a lot of people park in this parking lot. It's basically a public parking lot, you know, So anybody can park here, and then the great thing about it is if you get one of the front row spots, you're facing the tracks. So you can easily, safely rail fan here. There's not a pavilion, but this is a great spot to rail fan. And basically this line cuts directly through Glendale. This town actually came about because of the railroad. So the railroad was coming through here, and a few people basically got together and bought the land, and then ended up creating this town, which you know, we're in right now. The original train depot was actually a wooden depot, and then it ended up catching on fire, so they ended up building a brand new depot, which is this one here. We can actually take a look at it. I'll step out of the shot and we'll take a look at the depot here while we wait for the train. I mean, this is just the cutest little town. It's got a bunch of shops here. There's a couple of restaurants. Here's the depot right here. It's coming into the shot right now. Now it's Historical Society, I believe, has it now. And it's, you know, hasn't seen passenger service for quite a long time. And it, you know, here's the parking lot I was talking about. So you basically can park right in this lot, and if you get right in the front row here, you're able to, you know, park and have a grand old time, you know, watching trains. There's actually a couple of park benches towards the road on both sides of the street. So, you know, the great thing about here is if you're into railfan video or photography, depending on the light, you could be on either side of the tracks. There is public spots where you can set up your camera or, you know, take your still photography as well. And it's pretty safe and secure. We've got the police department, which is right over here. And then I'm going to just pan back out again, and you can see the depot here as well. I haven't heard anything on the scanner as of yet, so hopefully we'll get something soon. It looks like Dale is watching from Montana, so welcome Dale. Charles. Yes, Casey, I'm actually working on an ultimate trackside guide to the Cincinnati area. It's going to be posted on the website relatively soon. So basically what I've been working on is safe rail fanning spots pretty much from downtown Cincinnati all the way north to Hamilton, and then just slightly north beyond there, and then a couple of the other lines. So I'm working on that right now. So check out Train Aficionado under Trackside Guides, and as soon as that's available, it'll be on the website under Trackside Guides. So that's coming soon. Yeah, there's a gentleman that I know that lives right here in Glendale. He bought a house here because of the railroad, and he's got a front row seat to the railroad tracks. So he's able to enjoy rail fanning right from his living room. So we're still waiting on that train. I don't see anything as of yet. Soon as I either hear the detector, if it's short enough, I may be able to hear the detector. Sometimes the trains are so long, by the time it's here, I'm hearing the detector. You got to remember that the train needs to clear the detector until it's audible. So basically it's feeding information over the radio with that automated voice, you know, track 2, no defects. It's saying the milepost and the line, and typically if there is a defect, it's going to do it at the end of the line. We've got a train coming right now, so let's enjoy it right now. It's coming southbound. All right, well there's the train. I wasn't talking at all, so I wanted you guys to actually enjoy the sounds of the train going by. So those of you that were, trying to listen to me, talk, I was basically being quiet as the train was.
Detector, milepost 13.5, track main 1.
And here's our northbound's going to be coming soon. So, yeah, sometimes, Jim, they call the signals. It depends on the crew. But yeah, our northbound should be coming soon. So hopefully we should be seeing that momentarily. Yeah, I figured I would be a little quiet while the train was going by. It was going to be pretty loud, and you probably wouldn't be able to hear me, so. You can still see the end of train. Let's let's see, we'll zoom in pretty far in. Hosting and operating the camera at the same time. So you can see the end of the train kind of lighting up at way down there. It's just the track kind of dips there. You see that on the camera? All right, so hopefully we should be able to see that northbound coming soon. Of course, we saw that train. It was, of course, CSX heading southbound with a DPU in the middle. We still have the green signal on the track that's going to be heading northbound. So hopefully, maybe we'll get another southbound. That'd be really cool. And we should be able to hear on the scanner when it clears the defect detector in Wyoming.
Detector. Outpost 13.5. Track main 1. No defect. Repeat. No defect. Total axles 444. Detector out.
So it looks like that one was 444 axles. How many of you like this so far, that we're actually doing a live broadcast like this? Just looking at some of your comments right now. Dale, yeah, I bet it dips. Fun at the 70. Yeah, it depends on the crew, whether or not they call signals. A lot of times, some of them do religiously, and a lot of times they're referring to actual landmarks versus mileposts. So some of the things, you know, are still there, some of them are gone. Pittsburgh, that's a really cool place. Last year I actually did some rail fanning out there just east of Pittsburgh. A cool little spot. I can't remember where it was. My dad and I went, and basically it's where Norfolk Southern and CSX kind of merged together, the two lines. I can't wait to go out to the horseshoe curve. The Glitzen tunnels. That's certainly a really cool spot to be able to go rail fanning as well. Hey John, welcome to the broadcast. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers, so help us get there by subscribing to Train Aficionado on YouTube. Make sure you follow our social media, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. And if you go to our website, trainaficionado.com, you can subscribe to our newsletter. We actually have an event page that's on the website. Check it often. We're going to be adding more and more events throughout the spring, summer, and fall. And so far, this seems to be working quite well. So we're going to be doing some more live on scene. Yes, live on scene stuff, which is really cool. So it's almost like, you know, live on patrol of what we're doing at Railfan style. Hey, we got somebody from Australia joining us. Thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully you're having a, I'm not too sure what time it is there, but hopefully you're having a great day. You can hear the radio a little bit. The antenna that I'm using with my radio tonight is the Smiley antenna. I've talked about that quite a bit. on some of our shows. So definitely, it's on the blog as well. Apparently, I need to see where I'm at so I know where I'm framed. I don't know if I'm, whoa, oh, I'm super blurry. I'm not gonna get on the shot. It's completely focused down the rails. So, you guys know what I look like. You see me every Wednesday night. So hopefully we'll see a train coming around the bend shortly. I'm pretty zoomed in, you know, looking southbound. If you're just joining us this evening, I'm live in Glendale, Ohio, just north of Cincinnati, Ohio, at milepost 15. And we're on the Norfolk Southern, no, not Norfolk Southern, CSX Cincinnati sub, just north of Cincinnati. So the first trains traveled on this route in the mid-1800s. And this was a route that basically connected Cincinnati to Dayton, Ohio. Yes, I have squashed some coins on the tracks when I was a kid. I haven't done it since I've been an adult, but yeah, I had a couple of flat pennies. So the traffic on this line, you know, we get quite a few trains, but sometimes it can be a little sporadic. You know, sometimes you'll get a whole bunch of trains in a couple hours, and then it could be quiet for an hour or two. But yeah, if you spend the day along this route, you're definitely going to see some trains. As long as there's not any maintenance away activity or anything like that. So basically what's in the building right now, the depot, is the Glendale Heritage Preservation Museum and Gift Shop. So you can actually go in there and check it out. I've been in there a couple of times. It has a lot of Glendale's history in there. And back in the day when passenger service was at its peak, the station would see 14 daily passenger trains stopping there. Today, no passenger trains stop at the station. Hopefully, maybe someday, if Cincinnati ever decides to do.
FX detector, milepost 13.5, track main 2.
Sounds like we got a train horn. So let's see what we see. So it's either going to be a coin toss. It's either going to be a Norfolk Southern or a CSX. It looks like some people's bets are on Norfolk Southern, so hopefully we'll be able to see the Norfolk Southern. Here we go, we got a light, so we're going to know in a moment.
3655, here's Glendale North on 181.
And while the train goes by, I'm just going to let you guys just listen to the sound of the train going through, and then once the train passes, I'll talk a little bit more again. All right, bets have it on Norfolk Southern, and it looks like we've got a black locomotive with some stripes on the front of it. And it looks like an intermodal. And we could see the crossing going down just a little ways south from us. You can see the flashing lights on both sides of the crossing. Yeah, Lost Depot, I think you're absolutely right. Mornings are very much the best time to be out, especially, you know, with things coming out of the Queensgate Yard, a lot of stuff heading out of there and heading northbound. So it's definitely a good time to be there. Let's see what we see right here. Yeah, it's definitely intermodal. It's coming closer to us. And there goes the crossing just behind me, if you can hear that. And I'm gonna let the train do all the soundtrack right now.
CSX detector, milepost 13.5, track main 2, no defect, repeat, no. Total axle.
All right, so those of you who are just joining us on the channel, we're live in Glendale, Ohio, just north of Cincinnati. Just saw a Norfolk Southern intermodal heading northbound through Glendale. Looks like we got red signals on both tracks right now. We'll zoom in and give you a closer look at that right now. So you can see right there, red signals right now. So hopefully we'll get another green or another southbound. So far that's 2 trains for tonight's broadcast. Hopefully we'll get another one. We're at milepost 15 in Glendale. This is the CSX line heading out of Cincinnati and heading north. Norfolk Southern and CSX share the stretch of track all the way up to Hamilton, and then basically at Hamilton, the Norfolk Southern and CSX traffic split off as they're heading to points north and west. It's a pretty awesome spot here. You can see that that we've got a parking lot, which is right here. We could see it. So you can basically park in this parking lot right here, and hear another train horn, but I'm not too sure if it's a southbound. Oh, we got a signal change here, so we might have something coming soon, heading northbound. How do you guys like this, you know, us rail fanning out there? The track detector frequency range, basically it's on the road channel, which is channel 8. So if you're listening to the road channel of any railroad line on the scanner, you'll be able to hear these defect detectors. They're anywhere from 50 to 25 miles apart, depending on the rail line. On lines like this, it's probably about 25 miles, and then where needed on some other lines. Typically, defect detectors are sensing things like dragging equipment, hot wheel, overheight, if a load is shifted. Basically, there's all types of technology at this spot that's going to be able to give information to the engineer as they're traveling through. And if it is an issue with the train, they'll stop the train. The conductor will inspect, the car that's in question, or if there's something going on with the particular train once it passes it. Let's just see. Maybe a preview monitor, I guess. I have to flip the screen on the camera in order for me to see whether or not I'm on camera. Hello, everybody. I'm right here. So, and I'm reading your comments on a phone, so it's a little different from the studio setting here. Yeah, it's starting to get dark. It said it was supposed to get dark right around 8:30, so we might lose some light. On the camera, it still looks really good. It's still pulling in some really good light. So I think we'll be able to do this broadcast until 9 o'clock. We're going to try to stay out here. Temperature-wise, it's about 55. Yeah, so we got a signal indication. We got a yellow over red. So hopefully we should have another northbound coming at us. Basically, that I believe it. I don't remember the technical term, but basically it's meaning slow approach because there's a train on the next block. I'm not 100% correct on that, but that's typically what it means. The DPU, yeah, you can program in the frequencies for the DPUs and the FRED, and that is basically a UHF channel. I'm not monitoring the DPU or the FRED on the scanner. I'm just monitoring the road channel and the dispatch channel. On this particular portion of the line, it's the road channel is 8 and the dispatch channel is 66. So if you're familiar with the AAR railroad channel list, those are the two channels for this structure line that you need to program in. Sorry guys, I was a little out of focus on that shot. I'm just looking at it now. A little bit of latency on the phone, but I'm sorry about that. This is the first time, with this camera ever doing, like a live shot. So the cool thing about it is with this video camera, we have it connected up to a hotspot. So it's using completely cellular data. This is the same thing if those of you that ever watched Live PD, or what it's now known as Live on Patrol. Basically, they're using a hotspot in order to be able to feed back to the studio. We're pretty much doing everything on site. So the studio is using a Google Chromebook. And those Chromebooks usually have a 10-hour battery life, so I made sure that battery was charged up. And then as for the camera, I'm using battery power as well. And we've got a couple of bricks in case, the wireless mic or the receiver. I'm wearing a wireless mic, so in case, those start to run low, I have backup battery power for that so I can charge it up. Everything's looking pretty good right now. I'm checking all the batteries, but looks good. I know, typical rail fans. We need something to drink. a snack. Yeah, I mean, rail fanning and food go hand in hand. There is a UDF, which is a gas station chain that's around here, and they have ice cream and milkshakes, and it's right here. So the great thing about it, when I'm rail fanning here, that's the place to go to, of course, you know, get something to eat, get something to drink, and of course use the restroom. I'm not too sure what we're streaming out at. We're supposed to be cranking out at 1080, which is high definition, but I'm not too sure what it's looking like right now. Usually the show, when we're live in the studio, we're shooting at 4K. Done a lot of, excuse me, a lot of upgrades to the equipment. And yes, let's go rail fanning. We got a green signal. Excuse me. I'm guessing you're asking about like a radio reference feed or a Broadcastify feed. There is one that's, there's a couple of feeds on Broadcastify. There's one hosted, I believe, that's south of here, so you're not going to...
Detector, milepost 13.5, track main 2.
There's a couple of Broadcastify feeds. One is based out of the Cincinnati Union Terminal in the club room for the Cincinnati Railroad Club. That is one of the feeds. And then there's another one that has a more wider range. So basically the Cincinnati Railroad Club feed is picking up everything in the yard pretty much, and the lines that are approaches. Let's take a look. We've got a train coming at us right now. I'm going to pan around real quick. Unfortunately, we don't have a multi-cameras here, so we're using the one camera for our live shot. Here we go. And we'll keep it nice and wide. We may have a southbound coming at us. I'm hearing some train horn as well. So we've got a whole lot of headlights, so we're hard to be able to see who's coming at us. We'll be able to see once it's approaching us. And you can see there that it's tripped the crossing that's just south of us. So you can see that right to the right of the headlight there. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let the train sounds take over, and I'll talk to you once the train passes. Looks like another Norfolk Southern.
Milepost 13.5, track main 2, no defect.
A mix of a little bit of everything on that train. Of course, when the train cleared the detector, the scanner went off, and of course I couldn't hear how many axles. I'm not too sure if any of you at home could hear it. Can I guess the speed? It was moving right along. I would say that. It was definitely moving right along. I see Dale, we need to get a live truck. Well, if we hit the Powerball, that may be something that we can invest into. And I know, Dale, you have a broadcast background, so whenever you do decide to retire, you know, we can use you as the as our broadcast engineer as we go live. Looks like we're all red there for signals. Let's take a look. I'll zoom into it and take a look at it. Oh yeah, we're all red. So those of you that are from the Ohio area, make sure you check out the Cincinnati Railroad Club. They actually meet this week on Thursday nights at 7:30 at the Cincinnati Union Terminal. And it's certainly an awesome club to be a part of. They have presentations each and every month on the first Thursday, so definitely come by, check it out. And the meetings are open to the general public. So definitely check them out. You can follow them on YouTube as well. They have 2 cameras that are located at Cincinnati Union Terminal, overlooking the Queensgate Yard. We're looking on the camera now northbound, so we're facing in the north direction. So let's see if we get anything else coming. Right now we've got red across the board for heading north, so hopefully we'll get a southbound. And we're looking right at downtown Glendale right now. Starting to get a little bit more darker on the shot here, so we'll definitely be wrapping it up probably a little after or a little before 9. Battery power is doing pretty good. We're running everything on battery tonight, so we're looking pretty good. If it wasn't for getting dark, I would stay out here a little bit longer, but we'll hang out for another 10 to 15 minutes, see if we can see something else. This is the first time doing a live shot with this camera. So basically I'm using a video camera. A lot of people, when they do these live shots, they're doing it from their smartphone. So, you know, a little bit more higher quality with the video camera. And of course I'm able to zoom in and pan. I've got this thing on a tripod. So definitely it's working really well. If you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe to the channel, Train Aficionado on YouTube. Definitely do that. And make sure you check out trainaficionado.com. We're actually going to be meeting up this Saturday from 9 to noon in Hamilton, Ohio, just north of here. We're going to be meeting up there. There's some details on the website. If you go to the event page, you'll be able to see that event. And we're going to be meeting up with many of the people that have taken my class at the Cincinnati Railroad Club. I've hosted a couple of classes for scanner class, you know, monitoring the railroads on the scanner, you know, tips and tricks, you know, what type of scanners you should consider if you're looking to buy one. I'm going to be hosting some classes in the fall again, so if you're from the area, definitely check out the website trainaficionado.com. Also, coming down the pike, there'll be a brand new website for the club, the Cincinnati Railroad Club, and there'll be an event page on there as well. So definitely check both websites. Cincinnati Railroad Club's website will be coming online hopefully soon. brand new website for them. And of course, Train Aficionado, you know, anything that I'm involved in will be also on the Train Aficionado website. So currently right now the signals are all red, looking northbound. It's starting to get really dark. So let's see. See, it's still looking pretty good on the camera. I'm looking at it right now. It looks good. Trust me, it is getting dark out here. Oh, you're very welcome for the live stream. We're going to be doing a lot more of this in and around the Cincinnati, Ohio area, and then we'll be broadcasting live, you know, if I go again to, you know, to the Horseshoe Curve area, and then anywhere else, you know, we could possibly do it, I'll definitely consider it. Just saw a light on the tracks. I'm wondering if it was, there's a street that actually runs parallel to that track, and I'm wondering if somebody was exiting out of their driveway and shined on there. No, this is great, Casey. I'm so happy that you're watching. You know, we're always happy for any rail fans that want to join us on these broadcasts. I mean, typically, if you're just joining us for the first time, we do a topic. Usually I'm live in studio, and we have a slide deck that we share, and we go over, you know, the topic of discussion. And then the second half of the show, we end up answering your questions. And then, of course, you know, the conversation will go wherever it goes, you know, based on those questions. And then, of course, you know, we're on twice a month, the first Wednesday and the third Wednesday. Now, this month, we have a special guest joining us on the broadcast next Wednesday. That's Danny Harmon. You may be familiar with him. His YouTube channel is Distant Signal. He'll be joining me, guest co-hosting, and I'll probably ask him some interview questions since I haven't had him on in a while. Danny is based out of Florida, and he is a very well rail fanner with his YouTube channel. Many of you probably have seen some of his videos. He also has a broadcast background like me. I think he's got a little bit more free time than I do, so he's able to do a little bit more rail fanning than I can at this point. But he puts together some really awesome videos. So far, knock on wood, for our Trackside meetup on Saturday, weather is looking pretty good. I was kind of worried because we actually planned out the Saturday a month before. And as you know, with the spring, you know, we could get anything. We could get, you know, very chilly and cold. We could get some rain. I think the last time I checked, temperatures should be in the 70s. So it should be a really nice morning for rail fanning for us. And we're going to be there in Hamilton, Ohio from 9 to noon. So we're going to be trackside. I know a few of the people that have joined all the classes are going to be there. Nick, which is lives right here in Glendale. Jim, which is our librarian for the Cincinnati Railroad Club, will be there, and several others, you know, from the club will be there. And if you want to learn more about the club, definitely ask me about it. It's a great club to be able to join. They have a monthly newsletter that they send out via email as a PDF. If you're a club member, they have some exclusive stuff that they do for club members too. So it pays to be a member of the club. So definitely check them out. They're also on Facebook as well as YouTube. Just search out the Cincinnati Railroad Club. And they meet right at the historic Cincinnati Union Terminal, which is the Cincinnati Museum Center. Actually has the building right now, and Amtrak does stop there. In the overnight hours, with the Cardinal Amtrak service. So it's very rare that we see in this neck of the woods Amtrak during the daylight hours, unless it's running extremely late. But yes, Danny Harmon will be joining us next week. And those of you that are a fan of the Scanner Guys, and maybe a double header, we may actually have something produced for the Scanner Guys that'll run before the interview with Danny Harmon. I'll keep you posted on that as well. So make sure you check out the social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for Train Aficionado. All right, it's getting really dark, so we're probably going to wrap up things in a few minutes. Okay, so we got a couple of videos on the YouTube channel, one particular right here in Glendale. Basically, we give you kind of like a video tour of Glendale. You can actually see some of the shops and see, you know, the lay of this area. And of course, you could see a couple of different angles where we've rail fanned during the daytime. So definitely check that out. We also have a video up in Hamilton, and we've also documented the move of the depot. They actually moved it in two parts. They moved the first part in December, and then the second part in January. So certainly check out some of the produced videos that are on the channel as well. We're going to be doing more produced stuff, and then that's more than likely going to air in the fall. So we're going to start producing some videos, you know, during the spring and summer, and then hopefully have them air in the fall. God, we still look good on the camera. I'm looking at it right now. It's literally like if you had your sunglasses on and you took them off. You know, it's almost like, you know, it's a little bit brighter than you think it is, essentially. And we've got red signals there right now. We'll give it another few minutes. The battery power, my God, I'm doing great. I probably could broadcast for a couple hours out here, but I'm not going to do that tonight. Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful spot here, and it's pretty quiet and safe. Of course, the police department's right over here. You know, you get some pretty good lighting if you go more closer to the intersection there. And you could see, I'm going to pan this camera so you can kind of see some of the shops. So the downtown is basically, with the shops, is just behind the depot here. So I'm going to pan around a bit. I'll zoom out a little bit. I think I can zoom out. Yeah. There we go. There's the depot at night. And then you can see some of the shops in the background. They got some really good lights that are on them. It's a cute little town. I love Glendale. And I'll just pan this way so you can see what this looks like at night. What's the current temperature right now? 52 right now in Glendale, Ohio. Those of you that are joining us a little late, we're broadcasting live from Glendale, Ohio. We've caught a couple of trains. We caught a southbound CSX, and we caught two northbound Norfolk Southerns. And we've been only live for about an hour right now. We're hitting the top of the hour right now. So we've been live for a little bit. We'll take a look at that signal again, see if there's any changes. Let's pan nice and slow for you. And there's the Glendale Depot. Beautiful structure, not the original depot. Yeah, if we did an all-nighter, we would certainly need the long johns, that's for sure. My dad's watching tonight. Wish you were here. He's watching from home, and you know, he's been here rail fanning with me in Glendale. So we plan on doing hopefully a rail fanning adventure relatively soon. I know we're planning on doing something in the fall, so we'll definitely have the camera gear with us and maybe go live. And you know what, I may even mic them so you can hear the both of us talking. So who knows what we'll talk about on camera while we're live. Beautiful night here. Any other questions or comments before we wrap up things? I think we'll probably wrap it up in a few minutes. If this signal would go green, we'd hang out here for a few more minutes and see if we can catch another one. I know it'll be a little bit dark, but all right, well, you guys are thinking of something to comment about. I'm just going to remind you, make sure you follow, like, and subscribe to Train Aficionado on social media, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. You're watching this broadcast, subscribe to the channel, give our video a thumbs up. Definitely check out the other videos that we have here. We've covered a wide variety of topics from tips for trackside, rail fanning, trips, where to stay and things like that. We also covered, the technology you should have with you, like a scanner, and we've talked about so many different topics, and of course we're looking for more topics as well. But I thank you so much to everybody that's joined us this evening. We're so happy that you're here with us, and hopefully you'll be joining us next week. We'll have Danny Harmon on the show. That'll be Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. Danny Harmon will be live with me. We'll probably talk about a whole bunch of stuff there. So certainly have your questions and comments ready for him as well. He loves doing this live show because he doesn't typically do like a live presentation. Basically, his videos are all produced and then uploaded to his YouTube channel. This allows him to be able to interact with the audience that watches his videos. So certainly tune in, next week. And of course, we'll have a Scanner Guys produced video. Hopefully, I'm going to try producing that this weekend. So it'll be a double header, Scanner Guys and Train Aficionado. So if you're into scanners or want to learn more about using a scanner, subscribe to the Scanner Guys channel as well. Yeah, Casey, a scanner is certainly a great tool. The 125 AT, the Uniden Bearcat BC125 AT, goes for about $130, and it's one of the best radios. I mean, for the most part, all the railroads are analog, and that's basically what you need. You need a radio that's able to do analog. It covers the frequency bands that are needed. It's got 500 channels. So you've got a robust memory, and definitely check out the videos that I have about the rail fanning with a scanner, so you can learn some tips and tricks on how to program your radio. All right, we will wrap things up this evening. I thank you so much for joining us. We'll catch you again, hopefully, next week, and then of course we hope to do another trackside video on Saturday. I will let you know that it'll be a broadcast on Saturday. It may not be for the whole entire time, but if we hear a lot of traffic on the radio, we'll go live on the YouTube channel. Another reason why to subscribe to the channel, because we could go live or we could launch a produced video, and you'll get notifications of that as well. So once again, thank you so much for joining. I'm Jonathan Higgins, Trackside in Glendale, Ohio by milepost 15. We hope you have a great night and be safe out there rail fanning. We'll talk to you soon.